Good afternoon, everyone. This will be video number 2 in a 9-part series that outlines the organizational structure of UAT Group, its subsidiaries, and its strategic partners. Now, earlier this morning, I did the first video that was kind of an introductory overview. For you watching at home, it'll probably be several days or a week later, something like that. It just depends on what they decide to do with the series and when they release it. So I'm going to jump right in, and we're going to start talking about the Dreaming Company and its subsidiary, HBC Health Solutions. So first and foremost, what is the Dreaming Company and HBC Health Solutions? That is a partnership that is works rather well. It's interesting. You look at the Dreaming Company, and they're essentially a nutraceutical supplement health beauty company, right? But then you look at HBC Health Solutions, and they are in part responsible for the help in developing these products, but also the fulfillment, the supply chain, the manufacturing, as well as the customer service side of that business. So they work hand in glove. I think I mentioned that in the previous video. Work very closely together. And Chris over there really has a beat on things, so he's doing very well. And then Blake Cooley over at at Boost Words is one of the managing partners over there, helping with the marketing, which they have done a phenomenal job. And I am going to touch on that a little bit in this video to give everyone a little idea on revenue guidance. We're not going to get into specifics. We will not be getting ahead of the financials and disclosure statements. But I do want to give everybody an idea of just how significant growth has been over there. It's been nothing short of amazing, the Herculean effort that they've put forth in bringing out this product line, or many product lines, in the middle of a pandemic. And I mentioned in a previous video that I had done when we introduced Blake. He called me up and he said to me, he goes, "This is gonna sound crazy," but the more I talk, the more realistic this is going to be. You're going to get it. I said, "Okay, let me hear it." And to his credit, he was able to convince me that this was a good idea. When he first came to me, it was, "We want to launch in the middle of a pandemic." This is going back to March of last year, somewhere around March of last year. "We want to launch the Hygieia skincare line," and they have the licensing rights to use the Hygieia name from UAT. And I was resistant, I'll be very honest, and that was a mistake. I should have had more confidence in those guys over there. They did a phenomenal job. By the time he was done talking, I said, "Let's try it. Let's see what happens." And I was a little concerned. This is either going to go really, really well, or this is going to be an expensive mistake. And it really proved to be one of my better decisions to work with them on that and to Blake. So it really came along quite well. So there's a few things. The Hygieia skincare line, right? So I promised in the last video we're going to go over some prototype bottles and some of the things that we look at. And I kind of want to give you an idea. So when we get our samples in, we formulate, when Dreaming Company does that, they formulate, and the samples will come in little bottles. I don't know if you can see that, but they'll come in little bottles like that. And then, we open them. And then we'll have them tried, sampled, and see how they do. We actually have some shareholders that try products for us. Many people probably don't know that, but they're shareholders that contact me regularly, and I send them products and say, "Would you mind testing some of this stuff for us and see how it goes, see what you think?" And we have a few people that have wives and even some children that have some skin conditions, and they've tried them, and they give us back reports on what they think. And believe it or not, our shareholders are very thorough. They are very comprehensive in their reviews, and they can be critical, which is what we need, right? So they've been a valuable resource. So here's another one. This is the spot cream that'll be coming out. That's how it comes in a sample. Not very pretty, right? But that's not the point at this particular point. So we have, when you're figuring out what you want to do, so you'll look at and you'll see, you'll have retinol, and you'll see they'll say 1% on it. Then you see 0.5%. We're dialing it in. And then we'll try retinol with idebenone, and you're looking at it'll say 1% retinol, 0.133 idebenone. How do we get there? Well, that's a good question. And you'll see another sample. That was version, you see how it says number 3? Version number 3. The higher concentration on idebenone can sometimes cause a skin reaction on those that are sensitive to it. So it's a very good product. We'd like to provide a higher concentration, but that's going to have to be specific to the user. So we go on a lower concentration, and the results are very impressive. So that's that part of the equation. Then you got to look at packaging, right? So that's a process. So everyone's familiar with the packaging we have back there. That was the first launch. Part of that problem was getting the packaging that we initially wanted was a challenge, and especially in the middle of a pandemic. So we went with the contingency option. We went back and forth on that. I know Blake and Chris were very conflicted about moving forward with that, but it had to get out the door, and it proved to be a good choice. So coming up, when you're looking at the packaging, you know, the airless pumps are, because it is a premium brand, the airless pumps are what they'll be coming in. So there's a few new products coming out. I have an array here on my desk, and this is what how they come. And you take a look at the packaging. We just sent out or I should say the Dreaming Company just sent out all the labelings silk screened on to that. So understand it. You get to this point, you get the packaging, and then you have to take a look at labeling. That's a process. Believe it or not, that's more involved than people fully appreciate. You look at doing a label like this, right? Or do you want a silk screen? I don't have any of the silk screen bottles here, but they were just sent out to be filled to take a look at what they look like with the contents in them. So you get the package in, you see the empty one, right? And then you get it filled. You don't have labeling on this one. So this is the idebenone that's been hugely successful with the creep skin and a few other products. So that's how it comes. Then you get to the point where you say, okay, let's have it filled and let's do stick-on labels. Do we like that? How are they applied? Are they even? Are they leveled? We're having an issue with application? Are we having issue with the type of label? Does this need to have a coating on it? How do we want to move forward with that? And you go through a lot of samples. So this takes quite a bit of a process and time to go through. And then they come in and you'll see this one, it's all wrapped up. Do you want it shrink wrapped like that? And this is, just to give people an idea, this is the green tea and lemon balm brightening face serum. So the serums are coming. That's the next thing. What size? Right? Are you looking at a 1 ounce, 28 grams? Are you looking at ½ ounce for the eye cream? You'll notice we get this. Look at this label. A lot of people that probably wouldn't bother. That drives me crazy. It drives Blake crazy. So that was an issue. How do we make sure that those labels get applied properly? Or is it better to silk screen them because we need consistency? So this is the advanced eye serum. Has multiple proteins. I believe they're in peptide forms, and then fruit extracts. So that will be coming. And then you have what they call the age defier. It's an antioxidant, vitamin C, and silicates, rapid age. And you'll see, what is that? The color of that serum versus the labeling with silkscreen. These are all decisions that have to be made. So this is part of the process. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video was to let everyone know this is a process. It takes time, but it is also incredibly impressive how quickly the Dreaming Company and those guys were able to get through all of this and deliver a finished high quality product. There's a reason the reviews and customer satisfaction on the Hygieia skincare line are what they are. There's a reason the sales are what they are. The repeat sales are through the roof. Recommendations and referrals are through the roof. So I'm incredibly proud of what those guys have done over there. They've done a phenomenal job with very little. Their budget was small, and we'll discuss a little later on what those returns are. But here's another bottle packaging for the Pro Repair Serum, which is hyaluronic acid with chamomile. And it's interesting. One of the considerations is what's in the bottle. So this is a glass bottle because it has to be. How do we serve that up so the user can use this without it affecting the quality? So this is an air sealed bottle that'll dispense a certain amount at a time. It keeps it hygienic, but also keeps the air out. So this is very important. And this hyaluronic acid is a huge seller in the marketplace. So, and then here's another bottle for the correcting serum. And this has the triple peptides in it. So now you're seeing the label done this way. You'll also notice that this label is correct, right? So it took a little bit of a process to get the people to where they understand that what our standard for delivering a product to customers truly is. And there's not going to be, we'll let this go. We're not going to let it slide through. We've had some issues in the past, and we're pretty particular about that. So, and I know some people would say, Alex, it's not going to affect the quality of the product. Why do you care if the label is not exactly plumb or level? I think everything matters. I think if that is able to go through, what else are we letting go through? So we're not going to do that. So part of the prototyping is, looking at different ways to distribute the cream in the most hygienic form. So on something like this, you push down on that. I don't know if you guys can see that, and then it'll give you a serving. See that? And that's all you need. So clean that up. Apologize. Clean that up. And then, so this is something that we experimented with as far as distribution, on how we distribute the material to the user. This is something else that's going to be coming. We're looking at different cleansers for body and face. This is a B3 and white willow bark, and you'll notice that this label is correct. The top, I know they're working on different tops. This, for some reason, was not ideal. I think that they're going to work on changing that, or the mechanism with it. They are working on that, and that's it's funny. You probably would not think I would say this, but all the products smell really good. I've had a chance to sample quite a bit of them, and they're quite pleasant. So, and then of course the skin complex line, that will be something that we're looking at right now. This has enzymes, RNA, DNA repair, and probiotics all included. And so these are part of the packaging, and then having to get these things FDA approved. By the way, the labels have to get approved. How you lay it out, what you say, everything has to get approved. So this is a process. Okay, and then you have the AM and PM blemish treatments. So you're going to get these are organic. All of these are not organic. Some are, some aren't. There's two different lines, and this is a roll-on. And then you just put that on there, and for the morning, and then of course the evening. So they're experimenting with labeling things a little differently and so forth. I don't know that this is the packaging it's going to come in. These were samples, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I think they're changing this to a frosted glass or material instead of this black. And then one of these are black, one of these are blue. You can't tell, but that's what they are. So, and then of course the facial scrub. This is organic. and it's the this is the brown sugar and orange peel. I used this on my face one day. It actually smelled really, really good. I'm not an avid skin care using person. And then this is the SPF day cream. This is SPF 15. And this is something that we're planning on being a pretty big seller. And also looking at maybe doing something that's travel size that you can go. And this is something that you can put under makeup and everything else. I don't have that challenge. So, but those products will be coming. I wanted to give you an idea on all the different models. When you're looking at the Repair Serum, when you're looking at, this is a plant-based organic face and body oil, and you'll see the different pumps. And then on this one, for travel, this comes off, so this can't go down. And then that clips back on. And there's you'll see here the logo that says plant-based, all that. These are organic. This is one for repairing. So different pumps, different methods, different bottles. Plastic, less. So these are things that we have to take into consideration when making all these decisions. So a lot more is coming. I forget how many SKUs they're going to be up to. I think over Dreaming, they're in excess of well over 50 at this point. If I'm not mistaken, they'll be closer to 75 to 100 by the end of the year, moving forward with their product line, especially in the Hygieia line. So as far as, and that covers kind of the development process and the new product line. So I just want to give you kind of a sneak peek on some of the prototype and how this works and how it comes together. Packaging, if you will. I think it's kind of interesting to a lot of people, and it helps shareholders understand when we say things are coming, there is a bit of a process. It takes some time. So we'll see, and it's interesting. So you'll see here, Dream is coming out with a pillow. That pillow will be priced differently than the UAT pillow. So there'll be two price points on that. That's a hypoallergenic, very high quality pillow that they'll be putting out here shortly. I don't know the exact release date. I know that they're working through supply chain and fulfillment at this particular point. So I think that as far as development is completed, similar to the UAT pillow as far as along the process, but they will be launching first. So Dreaming Company will be putting out their price point first. And more importantly, Dreaming Company will be the retailer for the UAT pillow. So they're going to, it goes in line with their business model and their ethos of a higher quality of sleep, a higher quality of life standard, and dealing directly to the retailers, to the consumers. So the pillow that will be launched from UAT that will be distributed exclusively initially through the Dreaming Company will be that pillow, and then later on you'll see the Hygieia pillow coming. We just finished up. You can see that. That's the new zipper pull. We had to change a few things, and then inside you'll see this is the inside, and then you pull this out. This is the second portion of the pillow, memory foam based, some microfiber and everything else. Of course, everything is Hygieia protected. So you'll see you'll see that through Dreaming Company. Bedding will be coming from both companies, just different price points, and they're the appropriate retailer and working hand in hand with Boost Words for marketing. So you're going to see a lot of things coming out in time for the holidays. I know no one's really thinking about that right now. That's what we have to do. So we are considering Christmas holidays and then moving into next year. We already have 2022 planned as far as product releases and schedules all the way through. I just did some calendar items all the way through 2025. So there are some things that we are working on delivering in other companies as well. So we're working on that. So the reason I bring up the pillow is to show that this is just one more example of the synergy or the synergistic relationship across subsidiaries. So UAT is not just working with Osifix. It's not just working with Baxter Scientific. It's not just working with H2O. It's not just working with any one company. It's working with all of them. And the Dreaming Company, it is my goal, and I believe that Blake and Chris would agree that we would like them to be the retail arm of quite a bit of what we do. They have it down. They know what they're doing. They're very good at it. So why do I say they're very good at it and they know what they're doing? Well, let's take a look at how we started. Now, I'm not going to get into specific numbers on what we are currently doing. What I will say is that you're about 10 months in, 11 months in, roughly, on launch for the Hygieia skincare line, as well as the other lines under the Dreaming Company. And what you're looking at is projections. So let's take a look at what we're projecting. Our targeted revenues by the end of the year are at $1 million a month in revenues. We are not, I want to be very clear, we are not currently doing that. We are tracking to hit a target of $1 million a month by the end of the year. We will give revenue guidance, very specific, detailed, accurate revenue guidance in Q1. In Q1, you will see revenues over at Dreaming Company and HPC Health Solutions. You'll see revenues that have broken the six-figure in revenues. I'm not going to get into those specific numbers, but we are tracking by mid-year. We have a goal of hitting the $500,000 mark, and then by the end of the year, $1 million. And that was, we've had extensive conversations on what they're targeting over there, and if they are tracking for that. And currently, as of right now, they are tracking. They are, and they've brought in a tremendous amount of resources. The only reason I feel comfortable saying this right now is because they brought in a tremendous amount of resources to support the marketing, to support the social media, and keeping the not just the awareness, but also the educational aspect. I don't think people realize just how significant of a role in educating the consumers HPC Health Solutions and Dreaming play in the marketing side with Boost Words. So it's been a significant effort. I hats off to those guys. They have done an incredible job with a very small initial budget. It's impressive, and I think when people really dig into those financials for Q1, they are going to be surprised. How much money did you start this thing with? What are your revenues? It's very impressive. I would get phone calls and text messages daily from them when they started. I think they knew I was a little nervous about moving forward in the middle of the pandemic, but they did it, and they did it in spectacular fashion. Everything's been first class. There's always bumps along the way. I'm sure we've gotten some feedback from some shareholders, and I'm sure that people are aware of some of the things, but they were mitigated, minimized to the extent they could be, but they were also managed exceptionally well. I'm proud of those guys. I can't say enough about them. There are no complaints, for me at least, about the Dreaming Company, HPC Health Solutions. Those guys really know what they're doing. So this will conclude video 2 of this series, and this is the Dreaming Company. Next up, we're going to go one subsidiary by each subsidiary. We're going to go over the same things that we went over here, specific to that particular subsidiary. We are going to go over some of the stuff from the strategic partners. I'll show you the cast from NextCast. I'll show you the VTech from Baxter. We'll get into a few things. All of these items that I showed you today, these are the prototypes. Some of them are in final form. Everything is, as far as the calendar is considered, is already on calendar and scheduled to be released. So these are not ideas, they are coming out. I did show you some ideas, but just to kind of emphasize and illustrate the process, okay? So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope it clears up the Dreaming Company and what they specifically do and how they're coming along with Hygieia Skin and the nutraceutical lines. And I hope that this was proven to be helpful to all the shareholders. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. I think, I'm looking at the count, I'll do another video here in the next couple of days, and then you'll see it in about a week or two or something like that. They have to do all their editing, make it look good and all that. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for your interest in UAT Group and everything that we're doing here. And your support is very much appreciated. Thank you.